Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to build million-dollar businesses without sacrificing their health, relationships, or happiness, who understand that in order to build their empire, they need a solid foundation, and that the more they are thriving, the more their business is thriving too. This show brings you the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist turned mindset and high performance coach for entrepreneurs, and I help you get wired for success. Hey everyone, and welcome to another short solo episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. And today's episode is special because I'm trying to do a live stream with StreamYard for the very first time, and I'm trying to get the tech to play nicely, which is proving challenging. So you might be wondering why I would want to do a live stream in the first place, and I'm so glad you're asking, my friend, because I have a big announcement to make. Next week on June 14th at 4 p.m. CET, I will live stream the very first episode of my Leaders Are Readers Wired for Success book club segment. Woohoo! So in case you have no idea what this is and what I'm talking about, here is the gist. So I've opened up this new segment on the podcast to feature the best books from the science, self-development, and entrepreneurship categories that help you get wired for success. So what I will do is I'll invite the authors to discuss their books on the show, give you a glimpse behind the scenes, and have a short live Q&A session at the end to answer all your questions. So I think that's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to get started. So again, mark your calendar on Tuesday, June 14th at 4 p.m. CET. I will welcome best-selling author, entrepreneur, and life and business transformation coach Daniel McGenna to talk about his book, Money Game. If the tech is on my side, I will stream the interview live to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn so that you can join us on your platform of choice. If you have a question around wealth creation and manifesting money that you would like to get answered by one of the world's leading experts, this is the opportunity you have been waiting for. So again, join me on Tuesday, June 14th at 4 p.m. CET for a live interview with Daniel McGenna, the author of Money Game. Without further ado, let's switch gears and talk about an important life lesson that I wanted to share with you today. It's a lesson that applies to all different areas of your life and helps you get to that next level of success, whatever that might look like to you. Let me tell you a little story just to illustrate this important principle. As you might or might not know, I've recently started to train for a 50K ultra marathon. Now, you have to know that while I see myself as a runner, I don't really see myself as a long distance runner. I just run for fun and I'm not really competitive about it. And until last year, I used to run, say, maybe 5 to 10K 4 to 5 times a week. And maybe I would do a longer 10 to 15K run on the weekend. And then I watched the world's toughest race on Amazon Prime and felt like, oh my God, what those people are doing is absolutely insane. For those of you who haven't watched the series, it's an incredible 11-day non-stop adventure race where participants have to do all sorts of things like hiking, biking, rock climbing, swimming, and so much more. I mean, I didn't even know it was humanly possible to do what these people were doing. And I don't know about you, but if I don't sleep well for a couple of nights, I don't perform well. I feel miserable. I'm irritated. I definitely have trouble staying focused and motivated. And those people on the show, they just kept going day after day, delivering an amazing performance despite a minimal amount of sleep. By the way, I don't think that's healthy, and I would definitely not recommend compromising your sleep because sleep is super, super important for so many things. But what those people did on the show was definitely impressive to watch because it shifted my perception of what is possible. And I got curious about exploring and expanding my own limits. And that's why I decided to try running my first ever marathon, just to see whether or not I could do it. And that's what I did last year. And I have to admit, I wasn't super well prepared, but I did it anyways. And while it took me almost 5 hours and it was really challenging and I could barely walk for the next 3 to 4 days afterwards, it was doable. It hurt, but it was also a really interesting mental and physical experience because it allowed me to explore and expand my limits. The longest distance I had run before attempting that marathon had been a half marathon. So that had been my limit until I doubled it, which I thought was pretty cool. And it didn't take long until I thought to myself, okay, if I can run 42K, I wonder if I could run a 50K ultra marathon too. So I started exploring the idea and I read a bit about preparing for such a long race. And what I realized was that while I might have been able to run a marathon with just a basic fitness level and a ton of determination and willpower, that would not be enough to help me run the 50K, because 50K is another level. I mean, I barely made it through 42K, right? So to get to 50K, I would definitely have to train differently. I would have to do more longer runs. But on top of that, I would have to add in at least some extra core and strength training just to prepare my body. So often we think that all we have to do to get to the next level is to do more of the same thing we are already doing. But what I realized here was that it was not just about doing more of what I already did. It was also about figuring out the things that I would have to do differently. Because what got me to the marathon level won't get me to the ultra marathon level. And that's a principle that applies to so many different areas of your life. What got you to where you are today won't necessarily get you to where you want to go next. Because most of us, we know this on one level or another, but how often do we really act according to that knowledge? We all know people who are burning themselves out because they are trying to do more and more of the same thing that just won't get them to where they want to go, right? They are so busy being stuck in a familiar pattern. They are too busy to realize that they need to take a step back and assess what it is that they are doing and if that strategy is still aligned with their current goals. Think about your business, for instance. Will the same strategies that got you to where you are now get you to where you want to go? And if they don't, what do you have to do differently? Also think about what you have to do more of or less of to get to that next level of success, however you define that. So I'm curious to hear where you have experienced this principle in your life. So please leave a comment and let me know. That's it for today. I hope I'll see you next Tuesday. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show or share it with a friend. That way you can support the show and help me reach and support other entrepreneurs like yourself as well. If you would like my help to figure out how you can go from overwhelmed and overworked hustler to empowered and confident leader, check out my website at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions and book a free 20-minute strategy session with me. Can't wait to help you get wired for success. Until next time, take care. Bye.